Today we're going to be working on deadlifts. A lot of the same warm-up that you use for squats, like seated dynamics and breathing exercises, can be used for deadlifts as well. We're going to be also adding Romanian deadlifts as the specific warm-up. What I want you to make sure is that you're keeping a flat back, stretching the hamstrings and the glutes, and a soft bend in your knees through the cardio. Go ahead and start. A lot of times it's taught to look up while you're going down, but the best method, or the method that we teach, is keeping a neutral spine. What that means is when we're going down, we're trying to keep all the way from the cervical all the way down to the coccyx, is that neutral spine. So reason being is that if Brock was to look forward, okay, and you're going to bring that arm up to here, and I'm going to push down, okay, and I want you to fight me, all right, so ready? Good, okay, just keep it there, okay, and I'm just going to push, okay, so you have good control. Now, rest, and I want you to look up to the ceiling, okay, and I want you to do the same thing, all right, I'm going to push. Okay, it's a lot harder, right?
Yes.
Okay, rest. But the minute you look up and break that neutral spine, your core shuts off. So as long as you keep that neutral spine, you can keep that core tight and save your back. Okay. Now we're going to try with Johnny to check his form on the Romanian deadlift. Now we're going to get into the actual deadlift, now that we're all warmed up. Hips are warm, knees are warm, back's warmed up. So we'll go through the setup of how to do a deadlift. So go ahead, grab that bar, and we'll walk through your setup. The important parts are always looking at, depending on the person, where they're going to stand, and we're doing a conventional deadlift today. There is a sumo deadlift, and then the other variation is the RDL Romanian deadlift. So on the conventional deadlift, feet are usually within shoulder width. Depending on their comfort level, they may be super narrow or a little bit wider. The grip on the bar is about shoulder width or a little bit wider. On some bars, it can be right where that knurling starts or right outside of that knurling starting. Okay? From here, the way that I teach it is teaching them to activate those lats by locking out that elbow so that the shoulder locks into the cuff, and then the lat will turn on, all right? From there, we're going to flatten out that back, not to be mistaken with arching the back. We don't want to arch out because then your hamstrings and your glutes get too stretched out and you have no leverage. So we're flattening out that back, keeping that neutral spine, sitting down into that leverage point, and driving up off the floor. Good. Notice how he keeps the bar close to his shins. You can keep it right on those shins or about a half an inch out. Depending on the person, they like to keep that ½ inch out just so that they can lock in and drive off the ground. Give me one more. One of the tricks, if you can't get your client to sit down into that deadlift, is placing a target for them, okay? You can have different size boxes, stack up the weights. Today we're just using a kettlebell and a 25-pound plate. That way, when he sits back, he taps that kettlebell and then drives through. It gives them a reference point to where to sit. Some clients, you may make it a little bit higher. They may not have that flexibility and that leverage. It's not going to be the same height for everybody. The reason that we do a deadlift and we teach clients how to do a deadlift, honestly, every day you're doing a deadlift and not even realizing it. So the big points to this is that you're making it functional, teaching them how to pick things up off the ground and lift up. Also, it's going to create more strength and stability through the core. Thanks for checking out our video. If you have any questions, feel free to message us. If you want to check out the beginner deadlift program, the link will be in our description. And don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.